Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we have some stuff to talk about that happened earlier today. As of right now, it is Wednesday the 8th, but this dropped yesterday, which was, of course, Tuesday the 7th. We had some big news on both ends. Some good news, some bad news. As you can see from my title of, my thumbnail, I want to talk about the bad news first. I don't really want to talk about the good news. Even though that we got some great news about Daredevil Born Again, I want to talk about the bad news that makes me upset. And I was worried about this actually happening, and the fact that it kind of came out by a lot of reputable news outlets that pretty much said that Deborah and Woll and Elden Henson aren't coming back and reprising their roles as Karen and Foggy Nelson makes me really upset. Makes me furious that my worst fear actually is happening, where they're not reprising their roles in this show. And already this doesn't make any sense because this show is going to have 18 episodes, and I find it very hard to believe that Charlie Cox is back, Vincent D'Onofrio is back, and also there's rumors right now that we've been hearing for a while that Kristen Ritter is going to be reprising her role as Jessica Jones, and we also heard that the dude that plays Luke Cage is going to be, coming back as well. So this really annoys me. But the one thing that we just haven't been hearing is Elden going to come back as Foggy Nelson? Is Deborah Ann Woll going to come back as Karen Page? And apparently, like I said today, it kind of was confirmed by all these news outlets that there is no room for Deborah Ann Woll and pretty much Elden Henson to reprise their roles as Karen and Foggy. And I just am furious. This show, Daredevil, what made Daredevil on Netflix so special was Foggy and Karen. They are the heart and soul of the Daredevil show. And what made these characters come to life was Deborah and was Elden. So the fact that, pretty much everybody's coming back, but these two pivotal actors that play these pivotal characters aren't coming back, which they are, like I said, the heart and soul of the show, just bums me out, because Karen and Foggy keep Matt Murdock grounded. There is no Matt Murdock without Karen and Foggy. There just isn't. There isn't. There is no, day life, you know what I mean, that Matt Murdock has without Karen and Foggy. You know what I mean? It's that's a part of him, those two characters. So I'm furious. I'm just upset. I still can't grasp that they're not going to be in this show. And so many people were like, well, just because, Deborah and, Elden aren't coming back to be Karen and Foggy doesn't mean that Karen and Foggy aren't going to be in the show. I said, I'm not doing the whole, they might be recasted shit. I'm not even going to talk about that, because if Kevin would have to be dumb to try to recast those characters when already it's no, Elden and Deborah are these characters. I'm not going in and be you got everybody else back, but you didn't get them back when they're just as important as Vincent and Charlie and everybody else. That really bums me out. And like I said, the good news about yesterday, the news that, because we got good news and bad news about Daredevil Born Again, the good news is that Jon Bernthal is actually reprising his role as Frank Castle, aka Punisher. We knew this. Let's not bullshit. We knew that he was going to come back. I feel if people did not know this and people are actually this was a shock to people, I'm surprised, because I knew this was going to happen. I knew Bro was going to come back. I was not worried about if Jon Bernthal was going to come back or not as the character Punisher. I knew that Kevin was not dumb enough to get that man back as Punisher when he literally is Punisher. And that goes the same as he's literally Punisher Jon Bernthal. And Deborah Ann Woll and Elden Henson are, like I said, Karen Page and Foggy Nelson. There is no you can replace. Same as you couldn't replace Jon Bernthal as Punisher. Same as you couldn't replace Vincent D'Onofrio as, Kingpin or Wilson Fisk, whatever. Same as how you couldn't replace Charlie Cox, because he is Matt Murdock and he is Daredevil. Same with Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, and same as, I can't remember his name, the dude that plays Luke Cage. There is no replacing them. They are those characters. And I can't. It's not cool that you're bringing everybody else back, but you're not bringing them back. And already Elden Henson is already in the Disney already at Disney Plus with the Mighty Duck stuff he's been doing. He's already in Disney. Why couldn't you get him? I know that Deborah and Woll had a project going on. Like, there was like Scooper saying that that's why she couldn't be a part of it, is because she's got a project going on. Make time. Make it. I don't know. Fit her in towards the end. I don't care. I want her as like as Karen. You know what I mean? Like, there is no, make it work, because I'm telling you, this show already is like kind of like an L to me a little bit. Like, I know a lot of great things are, still going for the show, but this is a huge L if they're not going to be reprising their roles. It just won't feel right. You know what I mean? It's like it just won't feel right. I mean, because it just takes out the fun side of Matt Murdock being with his friends, during the day, doing lawyer shit, and then going out as Daredevil. It's like, if Matt Murdock has no friends, that's gonna feel weird. So it's just I'm and just the character won't feel right. You know what I mean? I want Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige. I want that shit. Like, I want it. You know what I mean? I need it. I need the trio back. If you're not going to give me that, I'm going to be upset. And if you think that recasting is going to, fans won't care, they're going to care. You know what I mean? I feel like Kevin knows that, because he got everybody else back. So he should know how fans are going to react if they, one, get recasted, or two, they're not there. It's going to feel weird. I mean, it's 18 episodes. Fit them in somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not cool. So, I don't know. I have a huge problem about this, guys. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Are you guys upset about this? Are you guys cool that they're not cool with the fact that they're not coming back? Do you guys think this is just like a ploy, kind of like an Andrew Garfield situation where he said, "Oh, I'm not coming back," but he ended up being in Spider-Man No Way Home? Do you guys think this is like the case? My sister thinks it's kind of like a Andrew Garfield type thing, or like, I'm not in it, but they're in it. I'm really hoping that's the situation, but I feel like that just like they're not on that kind of like par of like, like that was a bigger like, Andrew Garfield reprising his role back as Spider-Man. I feel like, like if they were in it, they would have just said they were in it. You know what I mean? I feel like they wouldn't like try to beat around the bush saying, oh, well, we're not allowed to say if we're in it or not. If like I said, if Jon Bernthal came out yesterday literally confirming, after all the news outlets said he's going to be reprising his role, Jon Bernthal made a post saying that I am reprising my role back as Punisher in the MCU. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if they were in it, they would have said that they were in it. And I feel like the fact that they aren't coming out saying anything kind of just says that the news outlets were true and that they're actually not returning. And I'm just bummed. I can't get over how bummed out I am that they're not going to be returning as these pivotal characters in this show. It almost would have been perfect, but the fact that they're not in it, I'm really hesitant on going into this series. Like I said, I'm still gonna keep, keep an open mind about going into the series, but I'm just so disappointed that they're not going to be in it. I love Karen and Foggy. Like I said, I think they're the heart and soul of the show. I feel like the show just would not work. You know what I mean? If anybody else was playing those characters, and would not work if they weren't in there. It just bums me out. I can't take it. Like I said, it's cool that Jon Bernthal's coming back. I'm happy, but I'm disappointed that I would rather have these two characters back, honestly, than Punisher in the show. You know what I mean? That's personally how I feel. Because these characters feel like these characters need to be in the show. Punisher does not need to be in here. You know what I mean? It's like, if I had to pick and choose, I'd pick these characters, because it would elevate, Matt Murdock's character arc, because these characters help Matt Murdock grow and help him and help him, get where he needs to be. So it just bums me out. But like I said, guys, let me know what you think about this. Are you upset about this? Are you not upset about this? Let me know. Do you guys think that they will show up, maybe, and they're just being quiet about this? Like, or do you guys think that if they don't show up in this season, they'll show up hopefully if we get another season, or maybe we'll get mention of them, and maybe if then that's like when they have enough time, then they'll actually, like, if we get a season 2, they'll like reprise their roles. I'm really curious to know, because I would, if we're gonna do it, I'd rather, if they can't make it because of stuff that they got going on, if they have stuff going on, I'm really hoping we get mention of them, and I'm really hoping that if we get a season 2, they'll reprise their roles as these characters without, you know, Kevin, you know, getting other people to replace them, because it just won't work. It won't feel right, and honestly, it will feel like very disrespectful in my personal opinion. But guys, yet again here, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put in notifications, like this video. I'd love to have you guys here, part of the family, part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. Yet again, guys, we're almost to 700 subscribers. That is the goal, to get to 700. My initial goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. But like I said, guys, that was the video. Definitely, like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm really curious to know where you guys are at right now, and how you feel about Deborah and Woll and Elden Henson not reprising their roles back in for the new Daredevil series. I'm really curious to know. I'm so disappointed. But guys, that was the video. Hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.